If your company rolls out a new AI tool and tells you it's just about efficiency, I want you to pay very close attention, because that tool is almost never just about efficiency. That's the story you're told, so nobody panics. But in office work, this exact type of AI tool usually serves a much bigger purpose. It quietly changes how your role is measured, how replaceable you are, and how many people the company actually needs. In the next few minutes, I'm going to explain what this tool really does, why companies love it so much, and the moment you should realize it's no longer helping you, it's evaluating you. And if you stay until the end, I'll show you how to tell whether you're being protected by it or exposed by it. Here's the first thing to understand. Companies don't roll out AI tools because people are working badly. They roll them out because leadership doesn't fully trust what's happening inside the work. They don't trust timelines, they don't trust visibility, they don't trust how effort turns into results. And AI promises something managers have always wanted but never had: clarity. So the tool arrives framed as help. It promises fewer meetings, promises smoother workflows, promises less admin, promises better collaboration. And at first it delivers. Work speeds up, tasks get easier, output looks cleaner, everyone relaxes. But underneath that surface improvement, something else is happening. The tool isn't just helping you work, it's learning how the work really gets done. That's the part most office workers miss. Because the most valuable output of these AI tools isn't productivity. It's insight. Insight into who finishes work without follow-ups, insight into who creates delays, insight into which roles are load-bearing and which ones are decorative, and insight into how much human judgment is actually required. And once that insight exists, the organization changes, even if nobody announces it. This is why these tools never arrive saying we're going to reduce headcount. They arrive saying we want consistency, we want transparency, we want alignment. All of that sounds reasonable, but consistency removes individuality, transparency removes ambiguity, and ambiguity is what used to protect a lot of office jobs. When work becomes fully visible, leadership stops guessing, and when guessing disappears, so does slack. That's when the tool stops being about efficiency and starts being about dependency. Here's where the danger line is crossed. At first, the AI tool is optional. You can use it or ignore it. But some people adopt it early, some don't, but then expectations shift. Suddenly faster responses are normal, clean output is assumed, better documentation is required, and before anyone says it out loud, AI becomes the baseline. That's the moment the tool changes your job security. Because now your performance isn't being measured against humans anymore, it's being measured against what's possible with AI, and that quietly raises the bar for everyone. This is why office work feels different after AI tools settle in. The same job feels tighter, less forgiving, less room for error, less tolerance for inefficiency. You're still busy, but the buffer is gone. And when the buffer disappears, organizations start shrinking without meaning to. Not through mass layoffs, through role merging, through hiring freezes, and through restructuring. And this is where office workers get caught off guard. They think the tool is measuring output, but output is the least interesting thing. What the system is really measuring is how essential you are once the noise is removed. If AI smooths the workflow and nothing breaks, that's a signal. If AI smooths the workflow and problems appear, that's also a signal. The tool isn't asking who works hardest, it's asking who the system depends on. And that's why the people most at risk aren't bad performers, they're people whose value lives almost entirely inside repeatable tasks. Tasks that look important until AI handles them quietly in the background. This is where a lot of office workers accidentally make things worse. They respond by leaning fully into efficiency. They optimize themselves, they become incredibly fast, incredibly reliable, and incredibly consistent. And for a while, they're praised for it. But efficiency without leverage is dangerous. Because once the system learns that this amount of work can be done smoothly, leadership doesn't ask who made it happen, they ask how many people are still required. And AI answers that question very clearly. This is why the phrase just improving efficiency should always make you pause. Because efficiency is never neutral. Efficiency always leads to consolidation. Now let's talk about the exact type of AI tool this usually is without naming brands. It's almost always a tool that sits in the middle of work. It summarizes communication, it standardizes output, and it connects workflows end to end. The part of the office work that used to require people just to keep things moving. Once that middle layer is automated, fewer people are needed to support the same structure. That's why this tool isn't really about efficiency, it's about revealing redundancy. And once redundancy is visible, it doesn't stay unaddressed forever. So what actually protects protects you when this tool arrives. Not refusing to use it, not pretending it doesn't exist, not working long hours. What protects you is being tied to outcomes the tool can't absorb. AI tools are great at tracking output, they're terrible at owning consequences. If your work influences decisions, manages risk, handling trade-offs, or carries responsibility when things go wrong, you're harder to remove. If your work exists mainly to move information around, clean things up, or keep processes running smoothly, that's where the pressure builds first. They don't feel threatening because they don't replace decisions. Ask yourself this: if the AI tool ran perfectly tomorrow, what part of my job would still need a human to take responsibility? Not someone, you. If the answer is judgment, accountability, influence, or decision making, you're safer. If the answer is producing, organizing, formatting, or coordinating, that's where efficiency turns into exposure. So when your company says this AI tool is just improving efficiency, hear what they're really saying. They're learning how much human involvement is truly necessary. And once they know that, the organization doesn't go back to how it was. This doesn't mean panic, it means awareness. Because the office workers who survive AI shifts aren't the fastest or the busiest. They're the ones whose absence would create uncertainty, risk, or delay decisions. The AI tool your company pretends is just improving efficiency isn't dangerous by itself. It becomes dangerous when it proves the company can function with fewer people. And the people who understand that early don't wait to be evaluated, they reposition. If you want some clarity, comment down below your specific job role and I'll let you know how long roughly you have got until AI will take your position, and I'll give you a tip on how you can optimize to be able to last as long as possible. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for everything AI and office worker related. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.